Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This video is going to be about using the Cartesian coordinate system to draw with. Basically drawing by typing inputs, typing in commands. Typically, or lately, I have been scripting these videos. This one is not scripted, so it's going to sound a little different. And I did not script this one because it's just running a little short of time. But anyway, to draw with the coordinate system, there's one thing you have to remember first, and that is to turn off your dynamic input. Your dynamic input, if you go down to the bottom in your status bar, it is right here if you have it on your status bar. If you do not have it on your status bar, then you would need to navigate over here to this little 3-bar menu. It says customization. Click on that and then find, where is it at? Dynamic input. Okay, and then make sure you click on that so the check mark shows up on the side of it, and then it will be in your status bar. Okay, but we want to turn that off in order to draw using our Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so to start with, you need a starting point, and it can be anywhere up in this upper right quadrant, or quadrant number 1 of the Cartesian table. You want to try to stay on this side of the little XY user coordinate system indicator down here at the bottom. Sorry about that bell. That was kind of excessive, was it not? But anyway, stay to the right of that user coordinate system symbol down here. And we would start with something, 30, 30 is our, well, the first thing I have to do, I'm sorry, is, and you can tell it's not scripted now, is I need to start with a line tool or a polyline or something. Let's do it with a polyline right down here. And of course, everything that I type in, instead of typing in and it going into the dynamic input over here, I'm typing it in down here in the command line. So I'll do that again for you, so you can look down in the command line and see this. Okay, so I'm just going to type poly, and it's going to predict the text, and I'm going to hit enter because that was correct. Okay, and so now I'm drawing with a polyline. So I want to start my first point, let's say at 30, 30. All right, and then kind of go up, and the next point, of course, I can leave them. I don't have to move my cursor at all. All I have to do is type in the next points. So let's go to the next point. Would be 40 on the x-axis, comma. Let's see, comma 50 on the y. And I just went a little bit further in that same direction. Let's try that. Let's try to go a little bit further over to the right. So we'll type in 40, comma. That's going to be in, okay, I need to change the x. That's what I need to do. So I'm already in the, I need to change the x to 55 because I'm going to the right. And comma 60. All right, so now we got a little bit more character to our lines here. The next one we will do at let's say 35 for the x, and then comma 40 for the y. Okay, and you see we're drawing a really different shape here. Not quite what I'd planned on, but yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine, to picture what this is going to look like according to the Cartesian table, unless you do a lot of practice in it. What they're going to show you on the test, or the item they're going to give you on the test, is a very simple item, and you're going to do just what I'm doing right here. I'm going to back up one step, see if I can't. Whoops, I just got rid of the whole thing. Okay, and actually I guess I will cheat this time. 30, comma 30, start point. Now I'm going to cheat, and what I mean by cheat is I'm going to look down here at this as I'm drawing this to kind of show you what this does. And this you have to also add to your dynamic input bar, but this is my coordinate. So I'm going to cheat a little bit as I'm going through this so that you can see the coordinates. Or or so I can see the coordinates anyway. So I'm going to draw a shape. Let's see, this is going to be 48, 48. And we'll just draw it down here a little bit, and we'll call that 70, 35, comma, 35. And then we might draw it down here a little bit, and that's going to be, let's say 62, 20, comma, 20. All right, and then if we want to end this shape just like it is, we can type the letter C into the keyboard and then enter, and it closes. Okay, so with that, that's how you would draw a shape. And of course, you really wouldn't need to use your coordinate system down here unless you're doing like what I'm doing right now, which is trying to create sort of a test or a practice object for you. You would just enter those figures into the command line. You would actually get your points would show up here. You don't even have to touch the mouse to move the cursor at all. Okay, now what they'll do on the test, of course, is they'll ask you to verify this somehow by some data that is over here in the properties panel. Okay, so that's how you draw with the coordinate system. Pretty easy.